In this video, we're going to go over listen hardware message steps. These steps can be placed in a sequence to ensure that the device is configured properly for the sequence that's going to be run. These steps allow for control over specific listen or Portland tool and die hardware. The message steps that are available are dependent on the hardware you have connected. Each piece of hardware serves a different function, so the message steps reflect that. The manual for each device will have information on how to configure it. Let's take a quick look at all of the hardware that message steps are available for. The AMP Connect is an all-in-one test box. We can use message steps to change anything that's available on the front panel. Audio Connect is an audio interface with a microphone power supply. If you look at this device, there's actually no front panel. The only way to change between microphone and line is to use SoundCheck message steps. Sound Connect 2, which is a microphone power supply and conditioning amplifier. DC Connect, which can be used as a power supply and to monitor current. And the Portland tool and die Bluetooth devices. Directly from SoundCheck message steps, you can connect to different Bluetooth devices, change the codecs, and open different audio connections. Now let's look in SoundCheck. All the devices that are available we will find in Setup, Hardware on the Listen tab. If we look here, I have two devices connected, a Sound Connect 2 and an AMP Connect. If you look over on the left side, the device ID is what we will use in the message steps. Now let's drag in a message step template for AMP Connect. We double click and open. You can see over here on the left side we have Listen Hardware selected. In the drop-down, we will see the two device IDs we just saw in the Listen Hardware tab. I'll switch to the Sound Connect and click Configure. This brings up a panel that will reflect all of the options found on the front panel of the Sound Connect. When this is open from here, changing any settings won't actually apply them. If I make a change and click Read Settings, it will go back to what it was previously. To actually push the change to the device, we need to click Apply first. Running this step in the sequence will automatically apply. I click Start to run the sequence, and those settings are pushed out to my Sound Connect. I'll change the device here to the AMP Connect and click Configure. Again, all of these settings match what's on the front panel of the device, and we can change any settings from there in here. I'll click Read Settings to see how I'm currently enabled. There are a couple settings here that aren't actually available on the device itself. Here on the amplifier, if we select Toggle Amplifier Outputs, every time this step runs, it will switch between A and B of the amplifier outputs. There's also the setting here under Control. This is how you use the DIO of the AMP Connect. You can switch between R and W at the bottom, which is read and write, and set the bit low or high. This setting will make the message step pass if all of the read bits on the AMP Connect DIO match what's in the message step. I run the sequence, and you can see the indicator is failed. It's important to note that this failure does not mean AMP Connect was not set correctly. For example, let's change channel 2 here. And you can see it does get set to AMP when I run the sequence. Currently, I'm set to all high. So I'll change these bits to read all high and run the sequence again. Now the pass-fail indicator is coming back as pass. If you right-click on the step and select Configure, this will allow you to have conditional branching depending on if the DIO passes or fails. You could use this logic to create different loops or even stop the sequence if the bits don't match what we're expecting.